what do you think was a more accurate sequel to Mario 64? I kind of feel like Mario Sunshine kind of followed the structure of Mario 64 a little better.
Right.
But I've always felt the Mario Galaxy was the true sequel to Mario 64.
Mario Sunshine to me felt like either an artist whom had grown so tired of the formula that they just took a speedball of whatever and just went off in a different, almost out of angst, a completely different angle. Or it was an artist that completely lost sight of what their game is and was. I do not like Sunshine at all. I don't hate it, but I just think it's such a radical departure in that, you know, the whole gimmick behind Mario is Mario himself and his moveset. The minute you're giving him essentially a weapon that is completely outside of what Mario is, for me, that is not the spirit. That's not a true success. As you said, Galaxy is the true successor. And on top of that, I would want it to be the successor because it was once again Nintendo innovating, coming up with something different, not just saying, okay, let's take this, change it a little bit, or give him a weapon, whatever that is. It wasn't the Lost Levels, it was, you know, our Mario 2 that I appreciate. Right? A totally different idea.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Now, I would, because I didn't mind Mario Sunshine when I first played it. It has proven to be very difficult to go back to because I don't really like the aesthetic of the game. I don't like it just didn't really click for me.
Yep.
But you could argue that the Flood was basically their version of the Tanuki suit or the cat suit or any other power-up suit that has appeared, because it did have like various forms. You did have to use them again with some degree of strategy. So,
but it wasn't a necessity, right? So you didn't need the suit to do X, and then built the entire game around that suit.
Okay, fair. There were some. I'm specifically thinking of a level in Mario 3 where you had to, and the game made sure you had the power-ups, obviously, but you had to use the Tanuki suit or the raccoon tail to fly up and carry a shell so you can get out the... So, I mean, there was some parts, and I'm sure Mario World did the same thing. But you're right. I mean, you cannot do anything in Mario Sunshine without the Flood. So,
yeah.
Also, in defense of Mario Sunshine, I kind of think that they might have been having maybe like a higher concept idea with the games that would be appearing on the GameCube. Maybe they're trying to have like this weird little, I don't know, Mario extended video game universe, because EGAD obviously invented the Flood. EGAD also invented the thing that Luigi used in Luigi's Mansion. They might have been trying to do something like that to kind of link those games and make them very distinctive on the GameCube. Maybe I'm kind of reaching for excuses for them.
Well, no, and I think also, you know, one thing that Nintendo loves is gimmicks, and I don't mean that negatively, right? But they like their gimmicks, and so the GameCube controller had a pressure-sensitive button. Yeah. So the idea of being able to, you know, shoot the water at an X amount of pressure, also lends itself to the Nintendo ideology of gimmicks.
That's true. In terms of how Sunshine was structured, it kind of did play it safe, but ultimately it was kind of a risk that just didn't really pay off in the long run. There are people who love Sunshine, and you know, God bless them. Every game needs a fan.
Absolutely.
But by and large, I think that most people were just content to consider Galaxy the true sequel to Mario 64.
Yes. I applaud Nintendo for taking chances. I don't want them playing it safe. And, you know, it may have taken a Sunshine to make a Galaxy. So
that's true, because they didn't really take any risks since the Galaxy 2 was Galaxy 1.2. But it was not really a sequel. It was an additional pack of levels. So they
But am I wrong in that it was a Sonic 3 and then Knuckles situation where they had to split the game up? Or was it it wasn't that?
It was basically they had, and they talked about this when they were making articles in Nintendo Power and stuff. They had so many ideas for the first Mario Galaxy, they had to kind of pick and choose which ones. So there was plenty of ideas that are left on the table. And I actually think that of the two of them, Mario Galaxy 2 is the better game. I don't like it as much because it didn't have the same wow factor, because it's almost like the game is saying Mario Galaxy 1 didn't really happen, this happened instead, or this is like an alternate version of Mario Galaxy 1. Like it kind of retreads the same story, which is weird and doesn't really acknowledge the fact that it's retreading the same story.
Right.
You're basically, I think, just meant to experience it as an alternate version of the original Mario Galaxy.
Okay, right.
That's the way I saw it. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way at first. I forgot where I was going with that, but Mario Galaxy is not even an N64 game, so I don't even know why we're talking about it.
Correct.